Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. And I'm Alisa Abdullaeva, clinical hypnotherapist. And today I would like to deepen the conversation about Ayurveda. It is going to be an advanced conversation. Typically, I do not have this conversation with my clients unless they've been working with me for 3-4 months. But as I see a flood of calls and emails and text messages from a lot of new clients and people who would like to see me, and as I said in my previous videos, that I work only 10 hours per week, and that means I work only with 10 clients per week, and I cannot take more, unfortunately. That's why I decided this is going to be my contribution to you. As you're going to watch my videos, you're going to start your healing journey from anxiety, depression, stress, boredom, addictions, or relationship or marital problems. I've been doing this for over 17 years, and I've helped a lot of people. And so therefore, I decided that this is something that I can give back to you. This is my calling. It's been very loud calling. And by the way, this summer, I'm going to begin a seminar/lecture series. So I would love to have you there, because in the seminar, obviously, we're going to deepen this conversation even more, and we're going to have some therapeutical, psychomatic therapy, and also NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, with existential and gestalt therapy. And all of that is going to help you to continue your healing journey from anxiety, stress, and depression. So today, first of all, I would like to start with what is Ayurveda. It is a spirituality and philosophy that comes from India, and it's 3,000 years old. And what is it translates? How is it translates? Ayur means life, and Veda means knowledge. And studying Ayurveda, the biggest impact I see it in my life is that it teaches not only how to have a good relationship with a higher power, it also teaches us how to have a relationship with ourselves, with our family members, with our friends, community, and even our country and government. So it is a huge conversation how to live a happy life. That again, Ayurveda is not interested to help you to survive life. It's interested for you to live a happy, full life where you know your purpose, why you're here, where you're heading. And these are some powerful questions that we as a human beings, not a lot of us are really in the inquiry about it. And so let's begin. If you can, grab a pen and paper. So when you actually write some of the concepts, you will remember and understand this knowledge much deeper, and you'll remember it for at least 3 months. When we just listen, sometimes the information disappears. So I would like for you to start with the first distinction of Ayurveda that talks about Dharma. And Dharma is spelled as Dharma. What is Dharma means? Dharma means a duty, and a duty to yourself mainly, and then to your family members, as wife, husband, kids, father and mother, and etc. And what Dharma really means at the core is how people feel about themselves internally. When you understand your purpose, or you inquire about your purpose, and you investigate why you're here, and not a lot of us can say that they're fortunate to find that purpose, but once you do, you become in life unstoppable, and you feel like all the doors in the world starts to open up to you. Dharma is about learning who you are and why you're here. What is your purpose? And our goal as a human beings to discover and continue looking and learning and trying different things. Obviously, if you don't know what's your calling, you can start by being a businessman if that's calling you. And you try and you try, and if it's not working, maybe it's not it. You can try something else. Maybe it is management, and you're going and you're managing, or your supervisor, and it's working. People are trusting you, people are following you. People can see that you're standing for justice and leading them. That means it's yours, and take that path. Unless we try and take action, we will never know. And in one of my earlier videos, what is your purpose, you can listen to that video, and you will hear about 4 different varnas. And in those 4 different varnas, if you can distinct yours, you'll get closer, much closer to understanding what's your purpose, what is your calling. I strongly recommend for you to listen to that video. And now we will move on to the second distinction, that is called Artha. Artha is economic success. So obviously, once we discover our duty to ourselves and our family members, we have a duty to explore, take action on what is that we must follow. In my case, I was very clear in my mid-20s when I fully started to invest into my practice and helping people, and so many doors were opening up, and so many people from the very beginning started to come to me to therapy, even though from all my friends that I graduated with, only 2 became psychologists and opened their practice. Everyone else started doing something else. It just did not work out. And out of 3 of us, somehow the universe flooded me with a lot of opportunities and clients. And so I started listening to my intuition and my gut feeling that it felt good, even though first year I was not making really a lot of money because I was not confident enough that I have enough knowledge to give to people. And lots of times I was just eating pasta and green beans, but I was so fulfilled and happy, and that was telling me that I'm on the right path. And so in Artha, it teaches us that if we are spending enough time to learn the craft, whether it's being a teacher, whether it's being a doctor or therapist or engineer, sooner or later, we gonna start growing and making money. Also, Ayurveda says that in order for people to really be a master in a craft, it typically takes 12 years. So don't expect that if you start a business, or if you're a doctor or attorney or a teacher, that you will be really good at it, because really a mastery takes 12 years. In this distinction of Artha, you will start experiencing success. Could be after a few years, could be a little bit later, but every human being deserves to be successful if they found their calling and purpose, if that's their calling. If you're meant to be a teacher, but you're an attorney, you could be making money as an attorney, but you will be miserable. You will not feel fulfillment, no matter how many cars or homes you're gonna buy as you're making money. However, if you're being a teacher and this is your calling, you will feel fulfilled and happy. The second one is Kama, Kama. It's from Sanskrit. And karma is enjoyment. Obviously, when we experience economic success, we start to enjoy it. We start to go on vacations, buy a comfortable flat, apartment, condo, or house. We get a car, and we start to feel comfortable financially, and therefore we experience karma enjoyment. And people are seeking mainly Artha and Kama. Because if we really look at the society, the social media, marketing, TV, music, movies, we see everywhere Artha and Kama, Artha and Kama, where everybody is seeing financial success and enjoyment. Nobody really talks about Dharma, which is the duty to ourselves. And remember, that's what really makes us feel fulfilled and happy. And now finally, we're going to the fourth distinction, which is called Moksha. Moksha, most of the people who are not practicing spirituality or have any relationship to higher power, it's going to be very hard for them to understand this distinction, but I will explain it anyway. People in moksha are seeking freedom, and how they see freedom is through learning philosophy or spirituality. And there's two ways people are seeing life. Either people see life in a linear way, which is here you are born, then you start walking, then you start going to kindergarten, school, high school, college, and then you find a job, you get married, you have kids, then you start getting older, and at old age you have two ways: either being really miserable, jealous, and angry that your life did not turn out the way you wanted to, and then you die miserable, or you turn into wisdom and the knowledge that you accumulated because you were seeking higher power, you were learning, you were studying, you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom to give to others, and people start gravitating towards you, and your kids and grandkids surround you. And then once your energy, everything that you got, you give to your family, community, and friends, then you die. And so this is one way, linear way looking at life. But our Veda understands and talks about that actually life doesn't work in a linear way. It works in cyclical way. And what do I mean by that? Our Veda believes that we are not born from nothing, and we come in life as a clean slate, like clean piece of paper. Our Veda believes that we had previous lives, and Vedas who've been praying for many years and hours, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, they even share that they start to remember their previous lives, or in previous lives they were priests, in previous lives they remember they were women, in previous lives that they were a fisherman, in previous lives when they were hunters. And so it's truly incredible how some of the people can even remember their previous lives. And so our Veda says that in the previous life we could have been animals, we could have been trees, we could have been the opposite sex. And interestingly, how our Veda believes that whatever you're struggling with in life, let's say that you're right now married and you're truly struggling with your partner, either your husband or wife. And let's say hypothetically, your complaint is that your husband is not hearing you, doesn't understand you, ignores you, and doesn't pay attention to you. Constantly works and doesn't really share his success with you. Ayurveda then will say that the reason why you're not happy in this marriage and with your husband is because in the previous life you were a male treating your wife like your husband is treating you now. And so in this life, it is your duty and goal to learn this lesson, because you were treating someone unfair and caused a lot of pain. Now it turns around and you get the husband that put you through the same thing that you put someone else in your previous life. And also Ayurveda says that it's our human right to experience the happiness. We're born to experience happiness. But we cannot experience full happiness until we learn the lesson why we're here. The more we resist that lesson, whether accepting this type of husband, accepting a toxic relationship, and not just accepting. Well, obviously, in certain toxic relationship, we got a distance in order to heal and in order to transform those relationships. But all of the people that come into our life that we're resisting or are hurting us, they are the greatest teachers. And the more we resist them, the more we cannot learn the lesson. And that's why, if you can notice in your life, you go through the same type of relationship where the breakups happens for the same reason, and you feel like you're dating the same person over and over again, or your friendship doesn't work, or you get fired from the job, or you are not succeeding financially. And so Ayurveda is teaching us how to live properly, connecting to a higher source, and live life with integrity, because we're so much fighting for our independence from our parents and family tradition, independence from a higher power. And we're constantly listening to podcasts to learn to find the happiness, but it's actually so much simpler. We're looking a lot of times for the answers in the wrong places. And higher power, God, is always there, and He's ready to help if we're willing to come to Him, if we're willing to open our hearts. And so again, in Moksha, the goal is to get to the point where we realize that we are not alone, and higher power wants to help us, wants to support us, wants to guide us, and gets us to the space of happiness. But it also teaches us to learn, to explore the spirituality and philosophy in order to get there, and keeping our mind open rather than depending on ourselves. And so with that said, I want to thank you all again for being here. I wish you all happiness. I wish you love. And if you like my videos, please like them, subscribe them, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. And if you're really serious about your healing journey, I invite you to my seminar in June. It will be over the Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I look forward to seeing you and helping you to get to the space of freedom, happiness, love, and fulfillment. Namaste.